Hi, I'm Daniella Genas, and in this video, I want to share 5 lessons I learned about people from running my own business. A lot of people going into setting up their own business have this kind of idea of what it's going to be like, and I myself had an idea of what it was going to be like. One of the things that I possibly did not necessarily pay as much attention to as I think I should have is the influence of people and how that could impact both me and my business. And that's why I want to share these 5 lessons. So, lesson number 1, people can be ruthless. Irrespective of the type of industry that you're in, you're always going to find people that their main goal and mission in life is to undercut you, to rip you off, to backstab you, to betray you. I've had some horrible experiences with some really horrible people whose sole ambition in life has been to ruin my business. And I worked in the social enterprise sector. So you would think in an industry where it's about making a difference and having a social impact, that people would act in a more conscious, ethical way. But that wasn't the case at all. Some of the kind of key awful stories, I'll give one example. I employed a woman to work for us on one of our youth projects. And throughout the time she was in employment, she wasn't necessarily hitting the milestones that I'd anticipated and that she said that she could in the interviews. A week before I was due to get married, she quit and said that she'd had this once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity. She didn't really go into it. I didn't ask. I wished her well and she went on her way. Within a couple of months, I started to find stuff in her drawer that signified she'd actually been setting up her own business. What actually transpired is the project that she'd been working on with me, she'd been setting up pretty much the exact same thing as her own business. And this was somebody who'd come into the business at a time where we were kind of at a crossroads. We'd had a bad experience with a previous member of staff and she was aware of all of this, yet she still came in and pretty much used the time that I was paying her to set up a direct replica of what we were doing. And the thing that was most hurtful about that is the fact that one of the things she was tasked with was to raise money for the continuation of the project, which she wasn't able to do. Yet for her own business, she was able to raise a substantial amount of money to do the exact same thing. Go figure. So that's a big lesson. So really, people can be ruthless, but the lesson from that is be wary, don't trust everybody. Number 2, people can be very generous with their time and knowledge. One of the things that I've really appreciated on my business journey is how willing people are to help. I've had a number of mentors over the years that just give up their time freely to support, to encourage and to motivate me. And people generally are quite open to that. If you can get an email or a phone number, people usually will spend time. And that's something that I've always tried to do, to give back also, because I've had that experience with other much more successful entrepreneurs. Lesson number 3. I'm a bit dodgy with these numbers, sorry. People can be inauthentic. And this kind of goes back to lesson 1 and not trusting people. People say that they can do things and they can't. People promise you things and don't deliver. People represent themselves as being experts when actually they don't know anything. So really you need to make sure that you do your research on anyone that you work with, whether that's somebody you're employing, whether that's somebody you're hiring as a freelance or as a supplier, whether that be a client that's hiring you. Make sure that you know who it is that you're dealing with, because people can sell you a dream. Number 4, people can be exploitative. I've told a story in previous videos, I'll put the link at the bottom of this video, about my experiences of being exploited. Now, people have different ideas of what exploitation is. Some people would say using volunteers is exploitative. I don't necessarily think that. I think if you treat volunteers well, if they're clear that they're volunteering before they start, if they are able to learn to advance themselves, there's nothing wrong with volunteering. However, there is something wrong with somebody hiring you with the kind of idea that they're going to pay you and not paying you, or paying you incredibly late, or paying you a specific amount but trying to get you to do 15,001 extra things. There's nothing wrong with going above and beyond if you're paid to do something, but when it starts to become days and weeks of extra work, then that's called exploitation. And also when people are getting extra stuff from you and they're not showing any gratitude, to me that's exploitive. Or exploitative. I think exploitative is the correct word. And number 5, people can be very, very, very supportive, but they can also be very negative. And it's about trying to find the balance of people around you well, not even the balance, getting rid of the negative people that are around you and making sure that the people around you are supportive. And sometimes, in some instances, it's going to be impossible. Family members may not appreciate your journey into an entrepreneurial lifestyle or into business ownership. Friends may not, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love you or they don't care about you. Lots of the time it's about them not understanding or not having the passion or the confidence to do what you've done. And therefore sometimes they'll say negative things. If it's a negative thing here and there, that's one thing. If it's consistent negativity, get rid of those people. What you want is a circle around you that's supportive, because on the days when it gets hard, and trust me, it will get hard, you need people that are going to lift you up and not tread you down. So just to recap, my 5 lessons learnt from people whilst running my own business. Number 1, they can be very ruthless. Number 2, they can be generous with their time and knowledge. Number 3, they can be inauthentic. Number 4, they can be exploitative. And finally, number 5, they can be supportive, but they can also be very negative, and it's about making sure that your circle is positive. I'm Daniella Genas. Thanks for watching. Please visit my YouTube channel and subscribe, Daniella Genas. Follow me on Twitter @Daniella Genas, and visit my website www.daniellagenas.com. Thanks for watching.